I'm just clean state, so
You are?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Would you like to?
Well, I didn't make arrangements, so.
Jim's got it set up for us so that we can do it, if you want to, so. Oh, would you like to?
Just a second, just a second.
Well,
Uh,
I guess we're on.
Yeah, we are. I just said,
Since the microphone isn't working properly, are you in there, little
your
fella?
microphone is not working properly.
It says it's not. Hey, little fella, are you in there? You wanna make adjustments, whatever needs to be done, little spider, and make it work for us?
Microphone HD Pro. All right, let's.
It's working, and we can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Okay, okay. We can have that much background noise, if you want. Microphone HD Pro.
There you go.
Oh, I'll step aside. Oh, I thought you had your head cut. Yeah, when you had it around, but when you came in from the side, it looked like it had been cropped off at your neck. So.
It's turned it off already, video. It
Yeah,
turned the
did you
video
change
off
it?
already.
I'll
After
do
only
one
2
more.
minutes.
Since it's the last Sunday. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Holy cow, this is the last Sunday of July. Oh, what a beautiful day it is. I came out this morning and I was getting ready to leave the house. I was sitting in the carport. The sun was shining and the rain was coming down so gently. It was so beautiful with the sun coming through that rain. And off I went under a bridge and then I was completely out of it. So what a beautiful, beautiful season summer is and what having a glorious one. So hope everybody's getting enough rain and let's sing something. Let's
Okay.
make a joyful noise.
Let's do all purpose oneness, number 37. 37. Why can't you do that? It's just it's a lag on the singing.
I think about God being one in all. Our being one with God. Oh, wow. The boundaries and the laws and everything that we put up to block that oneness. Oh, people that have told us we're not worthy, we don't deserve it, we're not good enough. And that's not the worst part about it. The worst part about it is that we believe them. And it's not true because we are worthy. We are absolutely worthy of that connection with God. In fact, we're so worthy of it that it never goes away. We might turn from it. We might be where we don't feel it and know it, but it's always there. It's our doors that close to it. It's our mind that won't accept it. It's our teachings that have led us away from the truth of who we are and the gloriousness of what we're made of. We're made out of God. God made everything, so we have to be made out of God. Certainly we're worthy of that connection. Certainly we're worthy of that love, of knowing it. It's there anyway. It's just our conscious recognition of it that makes our lives worthwhile. And that's what we're here for every week. Learning that connection, knowing it's there, feeling it, knowing that God is really the core of who we are. Letting ourselves develop that connection and that oneness with the truth of ourselves. That's our work. We do it every week. So let's be about it. And so it is. Okay, we start with our Declaration of Principles. That's on the cover of our songbook. We say this in unison. We believe there is one divine, all that is, that goes by many names. This one spirit is closer and more personal than bread, and that transcends everything. We believe it is unlimited potential, infinite and everywhere present, and that all of it is everywhere present at once. This divine source is all knowing, all powerful, and unchanging. We believe it is present in and as us, and in and as everything that ever was, is, and will be. We believe this universal power, the universal law of spirit. This creative mind receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts upon it always, yes, without reservation. We believe there is only one life. This life is God. This life is perfect, and this life is our life. And so that it is.
Yes, time to light a fire.
Yeah, like that.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Where is my fire marshal? Here you are. Nothing to like, you know. A little fire hazard. Okay, now good morning, everybody. Here we go with our celebration of otherness. The community known as Spiritual Center Graham honors and respects, embraces and welcomes all people, regardless of what our different and varied expressions may be. We respect and honor all of creation. We recognize the consciousness that sleeps in the mineral, awakes in the plant, starts showing up in the animal, and is self-aware in the human. That's why our program proclaims we are one and we are many. So we light candles today to symbolize and celebrate our otherness, even as we recognize our oneness. We celebrate all people regardless of race, gender identity, sexual preference and orientation, age, ethnicity and culture, all religious, spiritual, and secular convictions, socioeconomic status and political leanings, physical, intellectual, and cognitive abilities. AI. Yes, and immigration status, criminal background, and here come the rest of them. Catching fire quickly, there you go. Yeah, all right. Yeah, look at that, that'll give that flavor. So large candle that our W is vital right now. It's for all of us and all of creation, everywhere and always. It symbolizes our unconditional love and acceptance, our oneness. Whether we light a candle, utter a mantra, bow to the east, light a menorah, light our own candles, or do all or none of these things, we affirm with love, compassion, and kindness that spirit knows no differences. Spirit doesn't judge. We know and proclaim and live our lives accordingly. That spirit blesses all of creation. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, RW.
You never know quite how it's gonna go. do you?
No, it's,
Those flowers are pretty this morning.
that's crepe myrtle. It makes the real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it did. We tried it a couple days ago to see if it would drop everything.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it lasted 2 days, so I cut some more yesterday and
They're almost starting to look almost a little bit like autumn.
maybe, I don't know, what do they look like in autumn?
I don't know, just a kind of a,
Asters, purple asters.
maybe,
There you go.
maybe
Yeah,
that's what it is. I
I got it.
don't know, but it's just it's autumn.
Plus roll for my back, yes.
yeah, we've got lavender, pink, and white almost.
Yeah,
This is our neighbors, but it all comes over our fence.
right.
So we enjoy it. She can't even see it from her house. So yeah, it's great. But I'm happy to find a new cut flower to last.
Mhm.
Okay,
All right, well, I got a reading for you this morning, backed up by Psalm 18:3. I will call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. They're out there. Now and always I recognize that I live, move, and have my being in God. I am part of universal mind. I am one with universal substance. All the qualities and all the wealth of good and desirable things that exist in universal mind are mine now. I perceive, accept, and experience them daily. I accept more joy, more happiness, more of the good things of life. Constantly, my conviction deepens that a divine presence pervades my being, freeing me from loneliness and sadness. I turn to the spirit within, knowing that it desires to manifest all good through me. The zest of learning to accept the good that is mine fills each day with interest and makes eternal life worthwhile. I now lay aside all anxiety, all striving, and let the law bring my good to me. I open every channel for substance to flow through me and take form. Fully anticipate greater abundance, more success, and joy. And so it is.
So.
so it is.
But it's,
All right. Let's see something.
All right, let's do number 10. Faith. Okay. Number 10. Turn it down?
I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. We've done it for a long time. Okay. She was telling me she didn't care for the song.
Oh, I like it. It's a complicated piece.
It is.
I like it because it's not just a, da, 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 da. It's got all kinds of twists and turns in it and little melodies. I really like it.
Anyway.
All right, okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to our Sunday celebration on the 4th Sunday of July, the 26th. 5 months from now, Christmas will be here.
Oh, back off, Jenny.
In the year of our Lord 2026.
Get things out on the shelves.
Have you got your Christmas shopping done? All right, let's look at our calendar on this last Sunday of July. First, on the 29th Wednesday, we have Dharma Day. Now, Dharma Day commemorates the Buddha's first awakening underneath that Bodhi tree. He traveled to a wooded sanctuary near present-day Varanasi in northern India, where he taught 5 former companions. Now, he rejected both self-indulgence and harsh self-denial, and he offered instead a middle way. Through the 4 Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, he taught suffering can be understood, its causes released, and freedom can be cultivated through wisdom, ethical living, mindfulness, and inner discipline. Tradition called this moment the turning of the wheel of Dharma. Buddhists generally observe the day through reflection and spiritual practice. It's a very reverent holiday for not particularly festive. So common activities that they do include visiting a temple or a monastery and listening to teachings about the Buddha's first sermon, and with chanting and meditating and renewing one's commitment to the 4 Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. Got a quote for you from the Buddha. This one seemed especially poignant to me. What we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday, and our present thoughts build our life of tomorrow. Our life is the creation of our mind. If a man speaks or acts with an impure mind, suffering will follow him, as the wheel of a cart follows the beast that draws the cart. If a man speaks or acts with a pure mind, joy follows him as his only shadow. And I got a very informing observation from Rain Wilson in her book, Soul Boom, Why We Need a Spiritual Revolution. She says, many point to Buddhism as an example of a religious movement without a central concept of a higher power. But this isn't entirely true. Yes, Buddhists do not worship any supreme being, but in seeking bliss, seeking nirvana, seeking enlightenment, there is an inherent spiritual force guiding that process. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, proclaimed, there is an unborn, an unoriginated, an unmet, an uncompound. Were there not, there would be no escape from the world of the born, the originated, the made, and the compound. All right, next on our calendar, Thursday. United Nations claimed this one. They declared it as International Day of Friendship way back in 2011. And it's inspired by efforts in Paraguay, where a World Friendship Crusade's been promoting this concept since 1958. The UN encourages governments and organizations and individuals to hold events and activities to foster dialogue and mutual understanding and reconciliation. Friendship goes beyond personal bounds. It can be a tool for cultivating trust, breaking down barriers, and strengthening our shared humanity. It acknowledges that kindness and empathy have real power in shaping a better world, a more peaceful world. And I got a spiritual reflection for you on this holiday. Friendship is a divine echo of oneness, reminding us that we are not meant to journey alone. As Ernest Holmes wrote, life is a mirror, and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. Friendship reflects the best of what we think into the world. Trust, laughter, acceptance, and love. In spiritual community, friendship is an invisible thread that weaves hearts together. In honoring this day, we affirm that every encounter is an opportunity to create connection. I think I like the spiritual reflection better than I like the holiday itself. So, all right, time for our burgers. 8-year-old Sally brought her report card home from school. Well, her marks are mostly good. She got mostly A's and a couple of B's. However, her teacher had written across the bottom, Sally's a smart little girl, but she has one fault. She talks too much in school, which I think may break her of the habit. Okay, well, Sally's dad signed her report card, and he added a note on the back of it. He says, please let me know if your idea works on Sally, because I would like to try it on her mother. Sounds like that didn't fall too far from the tree, doesn't it? So, all right. Our theme for the whole month of July was whole no matter what. And our last theme for the month is the world that values all of who we are. Okay. April Connor, practitioner, tells us to create a world that works for everyone and all of creation, we must create a world that values all of who we are. Thanks. This may sound simple, but it's not easy. Don't we know? Who decides what works? And who decides what everyone includes? We live in a world that seems full of division and strife, yet we have the tools to work toward a more inclusive, just, equitable world where everyone has a place to belong. This is a tricky time. What?
A hole in one.
A hole in what?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is a tricky topic to me because it almost seems like a science of mind vanity piece, almost. But let's go into it a little bit more deeply. Let's look at a world that values all of who we are. There's core principles here. One, belonging isn't sameness. We've got to fit in with our uniqueness. Every person needs to feel they've got a role, including their unique pattern, their skills, their work, their values. They need to be seen and they matter. Another thing, human beings, they're neither blank slates nor are they irredeemable. We all have evolved drives. There's status, reciprocity, exploration, kin preference, fairness, and intuitions. But our culture and institutions can channel all of this productively. Our outlook wants to nudge the defaults over forced rewiring. This isn't anything about reinventing the wheel, in other words. Our philosophical lens sees the world as a sort of symbiotic force, viewing the world not as zero sum or a top-down utopia, but as a living, evolving ecosystem where individual thriving and collective resilience, they reinforce each other. through a deliberate emergent design. It's kind of like a forest where every species little niche strengthens the whole, but nothing conforms it to uniformity. They're all separate, but they're all contributing. Now, this lens draws from biology, mutualism, not just competition. And it also draws from complex systems, feedback loops, and being anti-fragile. And it draws from human psychology and for personal agency also. This view rejects both naive, that everybody wins equally, fantasies, and cynical, it's impossible, defeatism. We're in the middle of this. This is more like the Buddhist middle way. Instead, it asks, how do we align incentives, institutions, and technology so that helping others often becomes the highest leverage path to helping oneself? See, we've gone into our humanness, and they're considering that there. There's so many aspects to consider. Designing for universal places for us to belong. Got to address identities. And then there's architecture for the whole community. And economic substrate to look at encompassing abundant basics by way of technological leverage, promoting not post-scarcity communism, but pre-abundance capitalism, where voluntary exchange thrives because our desperation's minimalized. Nobody's desperate anymore. We know we're going to be all right. Now, got stakeholder ownership and portable equity. Workers, users, and maintainers, that everybody gets a little bit of ownership in the system that they rely on. Now, what this is going to do is create skin in the game for maintenance, and it reduces the tragedy of the commons problems. Everybody's got a little bit of mistake in this. And we can experiment with something like citizen dividends from automated productivity, because AI is going to come in and take over a lot of stuff. So we've got to find a way that this feeds back to individuals. Governance and coordination addresses centralized power versus decentralization. Education and human development. And we can use technology as an amplifier rather than a replacement. Personally, we can cultivate our own niches and invite others in. We can build micro communities, contribute openly, practice radical curiosity about differing worldviews. Sometimes we do that in here. Institutionally, we can support or found parallel institutions, schools, companies, even towns that embody these principles and compete, healthy competition on results. Culturally, we can tell our stories, find norms that celebrate symbiotic heroes, those that create the values with others, rather than pull it out, extract it, or isolate it away from people. Technologically, we can open tools for coordination, verify credentials, and we can align AI toward understanding and abundance. But you notice I'm speaking only of effects. The pathways to all of this are always initiated in cause. That's because everything is initiated in cause. Symbiotic flourishing is an organizing idea. And let's connect it to our philosophy. New thought is just a novel opinion or a clever rebranding of existing ideologies. It's a shift in the underlying pattern of attention, the way perception organizes reality before any particular policy or preference is chosen. Most political and social thinking still operates inside our older patterns. Scarcity is our primary fact. Competition is zero-sum Identity is fixed and threatened. Progress, it's either linear conquest or moral purification. And these patterns, we inherited them. They feel natural because we inherited them and they're familiar. But the exercise of new thought and science of mind begins when we notice patterns and then deliberately choose a different one. Symbiotic flourishing is a different pattern. It begins with a change in what the mind treats as primary. Instead of starting from the individual alone, which you know is my favorite starting place, or even from the collective as a single will, it starts from relationship as the basic unit of reality. Person is never simply an individual. Person's an energetic point in overlapping networks of dependency, contribution, recognition, mutual constraint, mutual abandonment. The health of the energetic stance and the health of the network aren't opposed. They're two descriptions of the same living process. Now, this isn't a sentimental thing. It's a closer to the logic of ecology, even our immunology of neural networks and successful open source collaboration than it is to either classic liberalism or classic collectivism. We're plowing new ground here. When this becomes the starting point of thought, several older dichotomies lose their force. The tension between self-interest and altruism softens. It's to repeat each other. Under a symbiotic lens, the most reliable form of self-interest is often the one that strengthens the conditions in which others can also pursue their interests. It's not a single-minded thing. We're bringing in the whole. Status seeking doesn't disappear, but it can be redirected toward positive niches rather than pure dominance or pure grievance. Human nature is acknowledged, accepted, and is part of its workings. Diversity is no longer primarily a moral demand or a threat. It's a structural necessity for resilience, provided it's held within shared minimum norms of reciprocity and reality testing. Gotta have some common sense with it. This is intimate work because it changes how one experiences ordinary moments. The mind stops scanning primarily for scarcity and threat and begins scanning for unused niches. Where will this fit in? Latent complementarities and points of possible mutual gain. Stranger is no longer first a competitor for fixed resources or a representative of a competing identity group. The stranger is first a potential carrier of a different pattern that might complete or strengthen one's own. Now, there's an inner dimension to this as well. To inhabit this perspective is to practice a particular kind of mental posture. Curiosity without a naivety. Loyalty without tribal enclosure. Ambition without abstraction. One begins to notice how often the mind defaults to zero-sum framing and gently returns to the question, what arrangement would allow more of us to contribute usefully and feel that that contribution is seen? The practice is intimate because it's continuous. Instead of scanning for threats, you're scanning for opportunities. It's not a belief one holds, it's a way of attending to things that we return to. Symbiotic flourishing is really more a new thought rather than simply a better policy package. course, we're gonna need policies, we're gonna need ownership structures, educational experiments with this and governance modules, and there'll be technological tools too. But the policies are gonna remain fragile if the underlying pattern of attention remains the old one. Gotta switch our thinking. The new thought is the prior condition. The willingness to see human society as a living system in which individual niches and collective resilience can reinforce each other, and the corresponding willingness to design, test, and refine arrangements that make that reinforcement more likely. Symbiotic flourishing isn't merely an intellectual framework. It's an invitation to see the miracle of each human life as both utterly unique and deeply interwoven with the lives around it. In this new thought, every act of genuine contribution becomes an act of belonging. Everybody fits in. Isn't that nice? Every niche you help create for another becomes a home that you also inhabit. Every time we choose curiosity over fear, reciprocity over extraction, logical certainty, we're weaving the living fabric of a world that can hold all of us. And you carry this possibility within you already. The same evolutionary forces that shaped our need for connection also has equipped us with astonishing creativity, resilience, and capacity for care. If we didn't keep caring, we wouldn't keep trying the way we do. The technologies emerging around us are not destiny. They're tools waiting for wise, loving hands. The communities we long for are not lost to the past. They're waiting to be reimagined and rebuilt by people like us who dare to think in new directions and in new frames of thought. Let's go forth and let's notice these niches where things can fit in. Let's tend to the relationships. Let's celebrate the contributions, however quiet or however grand. Hold the tension between what is and what could be with both honesty and tenderness. In doing so, we participate in the great ongoing story of humanity learning to become a better home for itself. The world that works for everyone begins in thoughts like these and in the loving hands like ours that turn them into lived reality. And so it is.
So it is.
Oh, okay. As I go within, I recognize the one infinite reality, the intelligence that thinks through me, the mind that is in me. And so that I align that and realize there is more than one way to consider this world. There are more than, there's a plethora of ways to live. And I realize that for outer conditions to change, things have to change in cause. Considering the world differently is what brings about outer world change. And the world is ready to be moved in that direction in considering ourselves not just completely as individuals, but as relationships. Relationships with ourselves, with others, with the world, with institutions, relationships. Knowing this can bring a whole new paradigm, and knowing that new paradigms and cause bring changes in effect. I bless this, and I am thankful. And in my thanks, I just know I have spoken it into the law, know it to be so. See what comes forth. I let it go, I let it be, and so it is. Okay. Now, transformative share. Have anything, please place it over your heart. You want to, Jesus. Senator Graham, I gratefully receive your transformative sharing offerings. Now we use them here in the center. We also reach out into the community. And we're not quitting on it, so, and so it is. Thank you. Okay, time now for our announcements. We have our liaison here.
Beans.
Beans, okay.
Canned beans, dried beans, mini bird and pork and beans, versions of beans,
Beans. That includes lentils,
everything.
everything.
Every version of bean you put up.
Okay. Dry, canned, doesn't matter.
It's not frozen type stuff because that's perishable.
Okay.
It's something they put on the shelf for us.
Beanie weenies.
Anything with beans in it.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. That's good nutrition. So, all right. Also, we co-sponsor a call with CSL Louisville every Saturday morning. I invite you to dial in at 11 a.m. Connection details are in our newsletter. It's a wonderful way to spend an hour on Saturday morning. There's no subject that cannot be brought to the call, and there's a lot of wisdom that's dispersed there. So I invite you to join us. Also, our 1-minute miracles are available after service. Something you can't get your head around, I'll be glad to do a 1-minute treatment for you. And I'll be glad to write you a longer treatment too, if there's something that you need that for also. Thank you for what you give here in the sanctuary. We're also available through and PayPal. And I think that's it for me. We have CSL Louisville is having a program this afternoon that is starting at noon. And I think we're planning on joining anybody who would like to join. The information was in the newsletter. I think it's Patrick
Harvard or something.
Harbula or something is his name. I know the name. He's got a pretty good name in our group. And I think it will be worthwhile if anybody has the time to do it. They asked for a love donation. And I want you, the church will take care of that. So if you want to come, don't think that if you can't donate, you can't see it, because you can. We'll take care of the donation for you. And I think that's about it for me. What's cooking with you guys?
We're gonna keep that on in the meeting.
We're gonna do it in the waiting room. We are, for sure.
Right, this afternoon.
Yes,
Today.
this afternoon. It's gonna be about noon today that they start. Did you see it in the newsletter?
Yeah, I was supposed to see that at my house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If I have, if I can.
Yeah, you can see it at your house. You can dial in.
So they bring lunch.
You've got the connection details.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Okay. Anybody have any demonstrations or anything?
Rain.
Hmm?
Rain.
Yeah. Yeah. We're watching the demonstrations
And Monday,
right
they
now.
open the stream. That's more trouble to get down, though.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, so. All right.
I got a bunch of stuff.
They seem to grow.
Now I gotta get up on the deck.
We can get them up on the
And
net.
I think one more time, it's seriously wrong with that. And then I've got the wheels to put underneath them too.
Okay, you've got the casters. So we'll be rolling all over the place.
Are we sure we want to put wheels under them because of the fact that if someone sit down and slide,
Well, they're gonna be up against the railing.
we'll have to tie them to it?
They're pretty big benches to just move from somebody sliding on them, even with wheels. Cause it's a.
We'll see. We're gonna get the-
Have you seen the benches? Have you seen them?
Yeah. that's
Cause
all
they're
they
long,
really
they go a long thing. So,
They're each 8 foot, little over 8 feet long.
well, you could put wheels on one and leave wheels off of one if you wanted to experiment with it.
Then they're gonna be like this.
Yeah, it would. But then some people like to sit at different heights. That's why toilets come in different heights.
What was that auntie name thing, the ups and downs? I should do that.
The ups and downs. That was a cute movie. Okay, well, I look forward to that. Those benches look nice. The deck, wonderful too. We just did a wonderful job with all of that. That was terrific, so. Anybody got anything else they want to add? All right, we have an affirmation this morning.
High definition.
This one is called the response. I create
I create
bridges wherever I go.
bridges wherever I go.
And so it is.
So it is.
All right, we have our blessing of the children now. That's on the cover of your songbook. We do this one in unison. Gonna get out of this, but to do this. And of course, we're all blessing all of those children. Thank goodness they're being found out there. And but we're also blessing the children inside of us. So all those children, every child was a blessing. We children, all children, bless all children, appreciate all children, and behold your as all children. And so it is.
And now the prayer of protection.
No, we got a song.
Oh, got a song first.
Yeah, this is number 27. It's in every one of them.
Trying to brush it.
That's all right.
I'm still gonna give us out early. We're gonna have to.
27, okay? All right.
All right.
All right, guys.
Yes,